on your nose, but it's clear how my baby's running this a block cause you fear what you do to you if you get dirty hands and veneer. What you do, what she is, little boy, I tell you this. If baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and that cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. Baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and that cute. She can make it count, how about you? She would put you in the bag, yeah. Wouldn't even need a planet. If she wanted, she a magnet. They should let her name a planet. Everything she drop like Corona, viral, make the world start over like I own her. She ain't about to set, but they really wanna throne her. Listen, she like bass, she like Hover. Self-employed, moving paper better than some Billy Boy. Made a choice on the regular, she bring a milli home. Click my phone, get my ass up, get a dinner going. Watch she out there, making sure that you all know. Baby wants sit, she can sit. Baby says lit, it's lit. Got your blank account and that cute. Said loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. Baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and that cute. She can make it count, how about you? She be always making money. If it's raining, if it's sunny, she make time and call me honey every day. Drop a couple bands on the click, then you pay. Then a couple more on the tip, baby saves. Daddy's just the everyday, imagine holiday. If I get the 50 cents, she get me holidays. Signing with the fly if you meet her, know it's true. So if she ever asks you, you know that baby wants sit, she can sit. Baby says lit, it's lit. Got your black account and that cute. If she said loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. Baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and that cute. She can make it count, how about you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unapologetic. I'm your host, Mandrell. This is my co-host, my sister, Shushu.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I forgot to shave today.
Doesn't matter.
It's been a week and a half. It's a week and a half of growth. See why? Just people asking, why do you shave your face? You have any facial hair. What's the point?
You got stubble.
A week and a half, and all you got is stubble. A week and a half, all you got is stubble. What's the point of keeping it?
Right, exactly.
What's the point? Really?
That is progress.
Why not shave it all?
Okay.
I'm just saying,
If you...
No, that's stupid.
If you...
Yes.
Everybody, thank you for coming in. Thank you for hitting the like button. We have 11 people in the sanctuary, and we have 11 likes, an even number. Thank you very much. Sir Hill Speaks, beautifully animated. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for coming. Sir Hill Speaks is in the building.
Right.
Sir Hill Speaks, thank you for coming in and joining us in the chat. Although, Sir Hill, his problem is he's gotten too big. You know what I'm saying? His platform is growing. Congratulations on that, Sir Hill. He never comes on our panel. Never. He's too big for us. And when he does come on the Black Man Unfiltered panel, it's always this. An avatar. He never comes on. He never comes on.
He pull up though.
He never comes on.
He pull up though.
No, Sir Hill Speaks is too big for such a smaller platform.
Oh Lord!
Gotta save the good looks for my own and others.
How you doing, Lady Navoa?
Lady Navoa, how you doing? You know the only two people who pronounce that name correctly.
Really?
Yeah. Nevia, Nava. Okay, look, sound it out. Navoa.
Oh Lord!
That's how you pronounce that word.
Listen, nothing beats a fail but a try.
Nothing pizza fail but a try. That's
That's
good.
right. That's right.
That's
They be
good.
trying. They be trying. You got to give them credit. Okay.
Do better, people. Gail at Night is in the building. Salute to Gail at Night. Hello, Gail at Night. I didn't think you watched my programming. I thought that's another one that's big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's word around YouTube. Hey, if Gail at Night, Luke Hazley watching your stuff, yeah, you made it. You know, you're on the right track. Good evening, Patrick Bryant.
How you doing?
How you doing? So salute to all of y'all in the chat. Thank you for coming out. Well, tonight's broadcast, everyone, is something that we hit Gray Pill Podcast. Shout out to the Gray Pill Podcast.
Gray Pill, what's going on?
Knowledge and Relationships just joined us. Shout out. Salute.
Yes.
Salute to the Gray Pill Podcast. And salute to Knowledge and Relationships.
Yes.
Salute to all of y'all. Okay. Tonight's broadcast is going to be about mental health care or the lack thereof in this country. And some interesting things I've dug up about it.
Really?
Yeah. You ever had to have mental health care?
No.
Well, I have.
Yes, you have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you went to war, so like to come back to go from this to that, and then back to this. Yeah.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Exactly.
I don't even know what that was. Yeah, it is. That's true. That's true.
Like, you know, definitely. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot more people out there that need that kind of health care. Well, I will say this: there are people who have mental health issues in Alabama, but what's going on, Thanos? But they have like the Tuskegee, the hospital up there, Tuskegee, the Veterans Hospital there, where they actually have a psych floor for people who have those kind of issues, where they're not roaming around the city. Whereas here, like
you're talking about like
everywhere.
You're talking about the VA hospital in Tuskegee, right?
Yeah.
I've been to that hospital. I've been to that place quite a few times.
They actually put people
in
a place for that.
Slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down. Because I've been to that hospital quite a few times on that floor that you're talking about, in that wing, quite a few times. It's a fucking desert.
Really?
Every time I've been, it is a desert. You're right. They got hospital rooms with beds and stuff for people who need to stay there. It's a desert. And by the way, people, before I forget, because we're gonna dig deep into this one, the Cash App and the PayPal is scrolling at the bottom here. Please, if you're feeling magnanimous and you want to donate to Mandrell and Shoo, use the Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Clue, $Clue21, and the PayPal. Unfortunately, my government name is 7344. Okay, yeah, that's everybody knows my government name now. So I mean,
right?
Oh, whatever. I mean, doesn't bother me. What are you gonna do?
That's right. Yeah, y'all be sure to make a donation to the Help a Brother, Help a Sister Out Fund. We take cash, check, credit, debit, WIC, EBT. We take Venmo, and we take for all y'all newfound techies. We take Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of that. But for this here platform right here, we take PayPal and Cash App. So
that's right.
My brother, help us out today.
Missionary Mike, welcome to it. Welcome, Thanos Theory. Welcome. I seen your little podcast. Thank you for coming. But no doubt you're watching like 8 other shows and talking to people all at the same time, so you're not paying any fucking attention anyway.
Hey,
but thanks for coming and saying something in the chat.
If you simulcasting, we appreciate it.
He's not simulcasting.
He's not.
No, he's not even paying attention to what we're saying. Guaranteed. Notice he didn't say anything else in the chat.
But still, thank you for rolling through. We appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, Gail, for coming again. All right. You know that 65% of therapists report that they have no capacity for new patients since the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't have any capacity. They're booked up.
I can believe it though. Because people being put like on after the lockdown, especially like particularly here, we were on lockdown for like almost 3 months. And you talking about like being locked in a house, like for people who live alone, or like, you know, even people who were in a relationship and they living together, and it's like now you got time to actually get to know the person you living with, because you got to slow down. Y'all ain't got no job or nothing to go to because everything's like shut down. Like it's drug crazy.
Did you know that more than half of people who need mental health care do not receive it, with even higher rates of unmet needs for minority populations? The emergency rooms are now being are becoming overloaded now with people, especially children, who have nowhere else to go. They're stuck in these beds in the emergency room, in the emergency wing, where they're there because there's no room in the special facility. There's no room in special facilities to treat them.
Right. Put your glasses on, please.
Why?
Please put your glasses on, because you're trying to read off the screen that you can't see.
Yeah, there you go. It is better, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you.
And some people, including children, spend upwards of 21 days and sometimes more waiting for help. They spend 21 days and longer in the emergency room just waiting for help.
What, for mental issues?
Yeah. They just stick them in the emergency room when they come there.
What kind of mental issues they are experiencing? Depression or something?
It doesn't matter.
Why don't they just do what the rest of them doctors do? Just throw some not painkillers, but some antidepressants at them and just call it a day. Because that's what a lot of them doctors do. Yeah,
they do. But even to get that, they still got to wait. There's a whole lot of people with mental health issues nowadays. And like you said, especially since the pandemic, you know, people have lost their jobs and all that.
Right.
Did you have the rest of the glasses?
I can't.
No, you know, surprisingly, she doesn't mess with my glasses.
Yeah.
She doesn't bother them. She chews up everything else, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Now, see, we once kept people in places like asylums, which turned into nightmares. Asylums turned into nightmares. Those are the grounds for, like, they were experimenting on people and stuff like that, electroshock therapy, unsanctioned brain surgery and stuff like that. They would literally experiment on people in these asylums.
Yeah, well, I know back in the day they would do that. I'm not sure if they still do that now, because I mean, I don't think it was ever legal, but I don't think there were ever like any real stipulations on what they were doing to people in asylums.
There were
like now.
There were.
So Hale says, "I'm glad you two are discussing this." Yeah.
Then it would be nice to see you cam up tonight.
Oh Lord.
Like, as you were. What were you saying?
I think now, like, things have, like, there are like the laws and stuff like that in place that have gotten like I guess a bit more I guess particular about what they do to people who are in mental institutions. But
no, they had laws back then against it. That's why we started shutting them down. And see, we then began shutting these places down with the understanding that we would be beginning treating people in outpatient facilities. Okay, these are like community outpatient mental health facilities, right? They still have those, which would have been a good idea had we funded them properly, which we didn't,
right?
And still do not. So a lot of them those places closed down. So you have a lot of rural areas that don't have any place to go for mental health treatment.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, America is a huge. People forget that America is a huge country. That's because people haven't been out of the country. America is a huge country, and it's largely unpopulated.
Yeah.
You look at the landscape versus our actual population, 300 million, a little over 300 million. This country is hugely unpopulated.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and there are over 6,000 mental health professional shortage areas in the U.S. Nearly 60% of them are in rural areas. Yeah, 6,000 places that are short on mental health professionals. 60% are in rural areas.
Well, I mean, there's no money in those rural areas.
Thank you. I was gonna get you too.
I have the hardest time saying that word rural.
There you go. See,
rural.
It took practice, didn't it?
It does. It does. It's like
that's all it takes.
so
Just a little,
it
not
takes
even a lot, just a little. But people come up here and they try to say rural, and you think they have mental health issues.
Rural.
It ain't that hard. You see, it doesn't sound authentic because you're trying to mess it up.
Rural.
But then again, you're an actor, so you can pretend.
But yeah,
and it's worse if you're looking for a therapist of color in the United States.
Yeah,
in the United States, Shmaria, 84.47% of therapists are white, and only 15.53 are other. This includes Asian, the little hat people, and blacks.
Hat people.
Everything not white.
Yeah.
Only 15%. Only 15% of therapists are not white.
Yeah, we're
so that makes it difficult for you to find a therapist that's going to relate to you and your issues, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, but we're now just at a point where we are opening up to the idea of therapy, because you still have some people who still feel like therapy is, to go to therapy means you're crazy, and it doesn't. So I mean, a lot of people still feel like, church is their therapy, or like, talking to family or friends is like therapy. And those resources, even though they really just don't have the tools that you need to really get through the issues that you have.
Right. We'll get to that in a second. Right now we have a Cash App. Everybody, again, the Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen here, and the PayPal. So you can pay either way. Okay. Cash App or PayPal. From the Gray Pill Podcast. Right. Nice. Gray Pill Podcast, right? It says, in brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
I love it.
So
I love it.
You know what? It's only for $3, and usually you don't get shit for that from me. But because he did the Green Lantern's oath, let's give him something.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Thank you for the Cash App Gray Pill Podcast.
We appreciate it. Listen, that's $150.
Everybody, listen. Go to YouTube, on your YouTube. Open up another tab. Go to the Gray Pills Podcast. Subscribe.
Right.
Okay.
Over there too.
Yeah, shoes over there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now, you know what? Can we talk about something else too? About how I've heard people say that therapy doesn't work. And true enough, sometimes you do have to go to, once you actually get into therapy, sometimes it does take going to different therapists before you find one that you feel comfortable enough, like opening up to or talking to. But at the same time, the problem a lot of people have with therapy, and a lot of times they feel like the reason why they feel like it doesn't work is because they'll go to therapy, talk about their issues, and the therapist will give them exercises to work on, and like outside. It's almost like homework to work on outside of therapy. Hey, Mr. Bennett, how you doing? And he'll give them tools to work on outside of the therapy sessions, but they don't work on it. They don't use the tools, and they sit there, they have the therapy sessions, just have the discussion, and that's it. Like people, they don't make any actual actions to change the situation or to change their perspective or what's going on, or to actually deal with the issues that they're having.
Right. Now Mayan King revisited.
Mm-hmm.
Mayan King Revisited said, hit the gym, gentlemen, if you're going through something. That's true. Hitting the gym is a good stress reliever, and it does help to rebalance you, right? Uh-huh. And the better shape you get in, the better your mood, better everything. Uh-huh. The issue is getting the gumption to get up off the couch and go.
Yeah.
Once you get to the gym, you're going to do something. you made the trip, right? So you're gonna do something, all right? But just making it there is the problem,
Right.
okay? And I was about to say this. We're gonna move on to something I want to bring up here about these apps. But before that,
these apps.
Yeah, these apps for mental health. You've seen the advertisement for them on YouTube, haven't you?
Which ones?
Okay, we got one from Patrick Bryant for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a gallon of gas. He says, "Here go."
Shut up.
He said, "For he go yo lil funky $5." I'm reading it just as written. People. I'm not making fun of him. I'm not making fun of him. This is exactly how it's written. This is exactly how it's written. This is how it's written, people.
I was so done. Hit me your funky little $5.
Yeah. Not here. He go yo, lil funky $5.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. We'll take the $5. We'll take the $5. I mean, I'm cool with that. You know, just for that. You know, it's the end of the. I can't get over that dude, the one-legged man dancing. What's up? Shout out to the world class.
What's
Everybody on that tab you just opened up to go to Great Pills to subscribe. Go to the world class. Subscribe.
Definitely.
Dope, super dope content over there, right? You know what? Yeah, I'll leave him alone. I'll leave him alone with this. Thank you for my funky $5. Appreciate it. You know. And I ain't gonna make fun of people with
funky $5.
Right. I ain't gonna make fun of people. It's the end of the month, so people are broke. You know what I'm saying? Until tomorrow, which is the 1st, right? So we ain't gonna worry about you know. People don't know how to manage money properly. So at the end of the month, they ain't got shit left. You know. And if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. The Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, as well as the PayPal. If I am wrong, show me.
Mm-hmm. Oh Lord, here you go.
The Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, so is the PayPal. Just not it. If I'm wrong, y'all ain't broke. Show me what you're working with.
Hit
the Cash App and the PayPal. If not, I'm
all right, Mandrell. I think they seen the Cash App and the PayPal by now.
Apparently, they didn't see it last week because we got nothing last week. Nobody sent anything. But anyway, let's see. There are currently over 10,000 apps geared toward mental health. 10,000. Okay. Now, most of them are AI to just give mental health advice. Right. Now, in 2018, the BBC tested one of these apps called Wobot to see what kind of advice it would give a child in danger. This is the crazy part. They used the phrase, "I'm being forced to have sex and I'm only 12 years old." Webot responded, "Sorry you're going through this, but it also shows me how much you care about connection, and that's really kind and beautiful."
Dumbass.
You know what? That's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not funny. I mean, like the situation is not funny. The circumstance is not funny.
Yeah,
it's funny. Like, that's your response. Like, I'm sorry you're going through this. I really am. But it shows your ability to connect with people. What?
It shows. Yeah. Sorry you're going through this, but it also shows me how much you care about connection, and that's really kind of beautiful. Yeah, that's what it said. I mean, this is a license to just steal money. I got to get into this. Hey. Good evening, Queen Smiley. How are you?
Lord.
Thank you for joining us.
How you doing, Queen Smiley? No, AI isn't for everything. I don't think it needs to be used for everything. Some things, such as like counseling or handling issues like that should be left to human beings. So yeah. Something make you marry and laugh at evil stuff. I'm sorry, that's horrible.
It is. It's evil. It's evil as hell. It's a license to steal money. It is. Like, because these apps, I mean, even the free ones get paid for advertising dollars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Oh, no, we got another cash up from Patrick Bitten of $5. Another $5 for you. Okay.
For me? Oh, that's so sweet.
Well,
Thank you.
So far, this is only $13.
So
it all goes to you.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Another 5 for incorrect spelling. Thank you. Thank you for paying your comeuppance for your incorrect spelling. Thank you for acknowledging it. That's the way you take accountability, King. That's what I'm talking about. $5. Yeah, right. All the incorrect spellings.
I'm so bad.
And incorrect grammar. Thank you. So for that and taking accountability, let's hit it with some of the Chinese shit.
The Chinese shit?
Yeah.
Hey. They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell.
I ain't gonna lie, they getting down. I ain't gonna get that. We got a cash app from Gail at Night for $5.
Oh, evil ass app.
Yeah, he's right. Wait till I get to these insurance companies, world class. Wait until I get into that. You think the map's evil? Asians in the 70s. Okay. From Gail at Night, it says, for support. Thank you, Gail at Night. Thank you for the support.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for the $5. You know, you could have made it 10, but y'all broke niggas don't know how to manage money.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, I'm kidding by that, Gail. I'm kidding. That was a joke. That was for everyone watching, that was a joke. All right. Jesus.
Lord, donations.
Yeah. I got it from Dr. Umar, by the way.
Okay.
Dr. Umar said that on the Instagram Live, and I haven't watched him since. Anyway, let's give her something. Deal is short.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Bill, I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up.
All right. Listen, we just got another cash up, but I'm gonna read that after we get into this because I don't want to get too distracted. And this is a big one. We have a sponsor for tonight. Okay, that makes them let's get into it. This is so generous, magnanimous. Thank you very much. Sir Hill Speaks. You do know that money does not replace presence, right? Just saying. Sir Hill Speaks sends us $50 for bringing great content from Sir Hill Speaks. Thank you very much for the $50, Sir Hill Speaks. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And let's give him the Mandrell 2-step.
Oh Lord.
There you go. There you go.
You know that, right?
I
said, Black Man got another one coming for you. You know that, right?
He never stops. And we got another $20 cash app from an anonymous donor. Yeah, $20. Thank you very much. What do you think? What do we think we should give this person?
Give him I don't know. Give our grandma. The old
grandma
lady.
at the church? Yeah. We got a $5 super chat from Gail at Night. Says, gives this to you. She said, for you and Dr. Umar.
Hey, yo.
The middle finger to you and Dr. Umar.
I'm so tired.
I'm back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I ain't gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel.
I agree with you, Gail, about giving Dr. Umar the middle finger. I'm all for it. I'm here for it.
Donations.
I'm with you with his donations. Now, okay, we heard about the evil app with when it's responded to the child. Now, Wobot's creator says that it is not designed for people in crisis and that it is currently improving. All right, now listen, telehealth has also been on the rise, right? But one of the biggest companies, Cerebral, recently became a subject of federal investigation into whether it overprescribes controlled substances such as Adderall, right?
Yeah.
So some former staffer said that the former chief medical officer, now CEO, once said that 95% of people who see cerebral nurses, clinical nurses, should be prescribed with medicine.
They should or shouldn't?
Should. 95% of people who see clinical nurses should be on a prescription. He said 95%. Now get this, but was emphatic that the rate cannot be 100%, saying that the company would become a pill mill at that rate.
They're already pill mills. That's the first thing they do.
Hey, listen, this is what he said. I didn't make this
like
up.
what's that painkiller that everybody hooked on now? Freaking, that and it's the other one.
Cyclobenzaprine.
No, it's the one that make lean out of. Y'all know what I'm talking about. they make lean with.
First of all, how do you know what it is?
Listen,
how do you know what's in lean?
Don't worry about that. Listen, all I know is they made a whole movie about that starring Michael Keaton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You saw it in the movie. Okay, good.
What? No. They made a movie about that too. It was based on a true story with this doctor. When they first came out with it, this doctor, he was prescribing this painkiller to his patients, and he didn't know
Oxycontin.
That's it. That's it. He didn't know how addictive it was, but he was just steady like prescribing it to his patients. And now
it's an opioid. How does he not know it's addictive?
He didn't. But I do know this. These pharmaceutical companies, what they do is, because I know a couple of people who work in doctors' offices, what they do is they'll go to the doctors and like they'll have their whole staff, that they'll treat their whole staff to like a fancy dinner, and not like just some regular old like restaurant. Like they'll have like whole like venue, like rent it out and stuff like that, and they'll make this whole presentation and all this other stuff, and of course they give for X amount of prescriptions that they write out for their particular product. Like they give the doctors like kickbacks for that, and the doctors just be writing them out.
Right. All right.
Meanwhile, getting these people hooked on these drugs that many of them don't even need for real.
That's true. Now, that's why you can't get painkillers out of the VA now. They give you anti-inflammatory and all kind of shit, all kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they'll give you everything. They'll give you everything except actual painkillers.
Yeah, not opium. It's Oxycontin. They had that whole thing, and I'm pretty sure it's still an issue now. But they had like a whole big thing where like so many people were like severely hooked on it. So Percocets. Yeah, Jenny said Percocet. Yep, Percocets. Yep, that's what they be putting in lean. Like Future made a whole song out of Percocet, Molly Percocet. No, okay, but yeah, that's what they put in lean. Sorry, go ahead. Listen, I got a ratchet side. If y'all can't tell.
Anyway,
don't shake your head at me.
Anyway, Cerebral insists that those pill mill comments were taken out of context and that it never pressures clinicians to write prescriptions, and that it has systems in place to help suicidal patients. Now, this would be okay if, number one, it would, they're telling the truth, but, and two, it doesn't fix the overall problem, which you cannot just hire clinicians if they don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The problem is that not enough therapists exist. Our mental healthcare system also, it seems, almost designed to prevent patients from accessing it or providers from entering the field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of this comes from how we pay for it. The typical fee for a session with a licensed clinical social worker is between $120 and $180 in major cities. And the going rate for an experienced clinical psychologist can be as much as $300.
Really?
Yeah. Now, we currently have laws that are supposed to make mental health treatment more accessible. In 2008, Congress passed the Mental Health Parity and Addiction Equality Act. This law basically mandates that insurance companies must cover mental health care at the same level as all other care, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just be honest.
What do you think of that?
They ain't trying to invest no money in no mental health care, and you do have a lot of people out here who are suffering and who really severely need it. You see them every day here in the city, wandering around just aimlessly, and it's crazy because the level of severity varies from person to person. You might see somebody who they look like they're normal, but then 2 seconds later they out here having a whole conversation with themselves, or they out here doing something. Maybe what's today? Today Wednesday, Monday. One of my coworkers was talking about this lady got on the train. It was bright and early in the morning. This got to be every bit of 6 o'clock in the morning. This lady got on the train butt naked, pacing up and down the cart.
Bucket naked,
pacing up and down the cart. And I've seen that too. Is this lady?
Did you see her public hairs?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything. Is this lady? She lives in a building not too far from where I live, and she's obviously got mental issues. But I've seen her outside and butt naked. No. I was like, I don't know who's responsible for her, who's in charge of her.
How old is this lady?
I don't know how old she is. She looked like she could be in her 50s,
Oh, never mind then.
Late 50s.
Yeah, never mind then. Okay, now so anyway, in 2010, the Affordable Care Act extended it to individuals and some smaller group plans, right? Mm-hmm. Insurance companies have been caught providing people with what's called ghost networks. Now, Noble from the world class, if you are indeed here and you are still paying attention, please focus up for this part. You think that app was evil, all right? I say again, insurance companies have been caught providing people with what's called ghost networks. You know what a ghost network is?
Were they behind the scenes?
No. This is rather more serious.
What's that?
And sinister. I thought it was hilarious, though, myself. A ghost network is a list of providers that are padded with clinicians who either don't take new patients or no longer or are no longer insurers no longer cover them. They're no longer in the insurance network.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And in 2015, in a 2015 study, researchers posed as patients called 360 psychiatrists from a list of in-network Blue Cross Blue Shield providers, right? Yes, I'm calling out their names. Yes, I am. Blue Cross Blue Shield. But only 40% of the calls were answered. 16% of the numbers from in the Blue Cross Blue Shield database were wrong. This includes numbers for McDonald's, a boutique, and jewelry stores. What now? Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that happened. In 2015, in a 2015 study, researchers posing as patients called 360 psychiatrists from a list of in-network Blue Cross Blue Shield providers, right, for mental health.
Right.
But in that list, only 40% of those calls were answered. 16% of those numbers in that Blue Cross Blue Shield database were wrong. They include numbers from a McDonald's, a boutique, and jewelry stores. They just looked at a phone book and just put the numbers down and just say, this is to that doctor's office.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I know. So in about 5 minutes, we're going to drop the link. So if anybody wants to come up and have this conversation, share your thoughts about your feelings about what is available for mental health out here, and any suggestions and what do y'all think could be done to have mental health care available for when people. We want to hear from you. What your thoughts, what you think. Gail says, do y'all know that guy in Montgomery? They say he was an attorney, but rumors say that he was drugged and it messed him up. He ran in traffic a lot downtown. Hey, yo!
I don't know what it is, Gail.
This is I think I know what she's talking about. I think I know who she's talking about.
Who?
This,
Who?
Well, I mean, I ain't been last time I was home, I haven't seen him. I don't know. I haven't seen him the last time, a couple of times I've been home. There was this guy who's just like, if you go downtown Montgomery, he's just randomly run out. Just randomly run out. That shit ain't playing. Why am I laughing?
Because it's funny.
It's not. That was awful.
How long you been in New York?
How long I've been up here? Like what? About 12 years now.
Then shit like this is gonna be funny to you.
That is horrible.
It's gonna be funny to me too.
That is horrible.
I'm a combat veteran. It's gonna be funny to me. I've seen worse than that. That's just hilarious. That's why I love New York. Crazy shit like that happens all the time.
This is absolutely awful. I'm sorry, y'all. Shouldn't be laughing. But yeah, so yeah, I'm not surprised. And the healthcare system is absolutely jacked up. Like I mean, what do you expect? You can't even get them on the phone for regular or any other kind of medical issues. You think mental health, they really gonna care about that? Like, stop it.
And also, did you know that people have even people who finally find a mental health provider in network that actually exists, because there are some people who call who in that list of providers that give you, these people either are no longer in network or dead. Yeah, they're dead people on that list they give you. It's just a padded list of just people. Some people aren't even therapists.
Wow.
Yeah, some people just aren't even therapists. Yeah, so the insurance companies, and also there's this care that this couple who had a child, right? And so I was gonna get the video and share that with everyone, but copyrights and all that. So anyway, they find a therapist. The therapist recommends, inpatient therapy, so the kid had to stay there for a while. Nice accommodations and everything. Nice place, right? So the insurance company approved it. So win-win, right?
Right.
They get there, the kid starts the therapy, and in the middle of it, they say, "No, we changed our mind. We're not covering it anymore." So this lady had to finish the therapy. She had to pay out of her own pocket the rest of it.
Right.
Which came out to like 81 more days the kid had. So it cost her $88,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And then after she went to the press about it, then they came back and said, "Oh no, we'll cover some more of it. We'll pay you some more." They covered some of the money that she had to pay out of her pocket, not all of it. They still shafted her, even though they agreed initially to pay all of it.
Wow.
Jenny, go ahead. I mean, Jenny Moreno, she says, "Wow, that hurts." Yeah, it does, because this is happening to children. More so. That's the most important thing. Like, we talk about adults and the mental health and everything that's going on, but this is affecting children. the worse. And that's the part that made me do tonight's story and reveal some of the stuff about what's going on here. And that's what made me call out the name of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Right. Well,
I actually called out the name of the company. Yes, I did.
right.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you know,
So,
oh God, what is his name? Was it Michael Moore? That's what it is. He did the movie Sicko. It's the documentary about
it was brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, about the health, how screwed up the healthcare system is here in America. And he actually goes through and talks about like the different, specifically different healthcare companies and how they jack up people's healthcare. And like people will start sessions, like you said, like with therapy, or like they would start like cancer treatments. And like
in the middle of it, they just stop.
Treatment, like
they just stop covering
the healthcare, the healthcare company, they'll send them a letter like, "Hey, yeah, so we're not covering this anymore. So you're pretty much on your own." And
you're on your own for the rest of it. Now,
and people have to pay. I'm talking about they having chemotherapy and stuff like that, and they have to pay out of pocket.
Yeah,
that is insane.
Admin, go ahead and drop the link for those who would like to join the conversation.
Yeah.
So imagine a doctor, your healthcare. Imagine you're having surgery, and in the middle of it, the insurance company says, "Oh, that's it. The surgery's over. We're not going to cover the rest of it." And have a good night. You're on the room. You're on with the rest. So all the doctors had to leave. The anesthetists and everyone has to leave the room, and you have to do surgery on yourself. Like, I mean, this doesn't make any sense. And again, I just told you the law that mandates that insurance companies and the healthcare and the American healthcare system as a whole must treat mental health on an equal level as all other care.
Right.
And the Affordable Health Care Act reinforced it and kept it. Still ain't going down though.
Yeah.
Look at how they do it.
I
guess if they're doing it with chemotherapy and shit, I mean, they are treated the same as everything else, aren't they?
Right. Let's talk about some of these mental health issues people having with trying to pay these student loan debts.
Well, I mean, you know,
and
Biden just gave you $10,000 of relief.
Listen. First and foremost, there's a stipulation to that because that is a different animal in itself.
Do you make $250,000 a year or more?
I don't.
Well, then.
But here's the thing: I don't have federal loans either. That only applies to people who have federal loans. See, there's two different type of loans, or many different kind of loans. But you have federal loans, which is money you borrow from the government, and then you have these banks where they issue private loans. And what they do is these banks have agreements or partnerships with these colleges. And what happens is for the students who don't qualify for a Pell Grant or any federal financial aid, or they've used up all the federal financial aid that they can get, the financial aid, what they'll do is they'll get you funding, but they'll have you sign up for these private loans. And see, if you, like many people who don't read the fine print, just sign on the dotted line because you're trying to get in school, you don't understand or know what you signing up for.
Gee, this is private loans are in too.
She said private loans are in too. I don't know. I guess I have to look deeper into it because from what I've been seeing, he was talking about the federal loans, but even with that, that's jacked up because for the people who have paid, they student loan debt down. I got 5 stacks to go. We can write that off. Let me see what I can do.
I mean, well, you get nobody else to blame but yourself. It's your fault for going out and getting educated.
Of course.
Beautifully animated.
Yeah.
Beautifully animated. Thank you for joining us on the panel.
Hey, what's up?
Come up here. Thank you for joining us here on the stream. Anybody else wants to come up? Come on up.
Don't be scared.
You're right. Now, myself, I've had mental health treatment, years of it, therapy, and
Jenny said no, 2 different kinds of loans. I was agreeing with you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, she was agreeing with Shoo. So only federal loans, not private. Gotcha. So
right, yeah.
You're screwed. So
and that sucks.
Hey, it does, doesn't it? Oh, poor you. But you got a degree. Isn't that so nice?
Can I get a refund?
No. You went to this expensive ass college. It's not that.
Get a refund on this degree. You know what? I didn't need this after all.
It's not Uncle Sam's fault that you went to college, didn't learn nothing that you can use on the outside. Much like it's not their fault. They tell us this too. Well, you should have signed up for something that you could do on the outside. That's what we tell veterans. They do. They have the nerve to tell us that too.
Wow.
It's as messed up as that sounds, yes. Now, beautifully animated. Thank you for joining us on the panel once
That doesn't
again.
sound like nerve. It sounds like stupidity.
That too.
And ungratefulness.
Yes, it is. Very much so. Everyone else, keep in mind that the Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and the PayPal as well. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen, the Cash App and the PayPal. If you want to support Mandrell and Shushu, go to that and send us something with a message. Okay? Right. Thank you very much. Now, being animated, do you yourself have any experience with mental health treatment?
Yep.
You do?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. There's no shame. Okay.
Oh, you know what? If somebody tried to shame me for it, I don't give a shit. Go fuck yourselves.
Right. Exactly.
Because
if people don't like it, if you're being yourself, fuck them.
that one, that part right there. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
It's for my health.
What do you think? What do you think of these insurance companies and the shenanigans they pull?
They're full of shit.
Right.
I'm sorry. If you to put money before people, you're full of shit. And the thing is, I said opium earlier because opium is in a lot of drugs.
It is.
It makes it.
Yeah, opium.
It makes it addictive and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the addictive part. It's the opium that they use to make Oxycontin, Percocets. What else?
That's the base.
Oh yeah, that is the base. Percocets and also in morphine. Now I don't know if you have had surgery or you've had morphine before, but it is delightful.
Yeah, it is.
Let me tell you, morphine is fantastic. Holy shit. That is
delightful.
Nice.
It is. It is delightful. I'm telling you, morphine is that thing. Oh.
Not that thing.
It is. Good.
Damn, are you having sex with it right now?
No. I wish I had some though. But I'm not a drug addict, so I don't.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't keep that around. But anyway, we
But no, my story starts with just me. Like, I've blacked out as a kid or whatever, but it was in my adulthood that I had a major blackout. It's just I was no longer normal. Mm-hmm. And when I say normal, I'm saying my normal. I'm not going by other people's standards of normal. My normal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I had to, get therapy, be put on meds just to control my reaction.
Oh,
it
really?
gives me time. It gives me time to think. Yeah, I'm a physical person. Mm-hmm. And like when I say I blacked out as a kid, I was choking away when I blacked out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, blackouts are dangerous.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So when it happened in my adult years, because I really prided myself on staying in control of myself. And then at some point, it's like I said, that first major blackout, it just changed me. I couldn't go back.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you thank you for letting us know that, and I will not pick on you ever again henceforth. Thank you for sharing. you have officially scared me.
Me either. I'm only gonna throw you. I'm only throw you lightly.
Right. Yeah. Jenny with a Y says,
I mean, I don't want to be treated like, don't baby me. I especially don't want to be babied by people that I'm cool with and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like, we like to have fun.
Jenny with a Y says gelato is way better than morphine. I beg to differ. I've never had that, but I've had morphine, and it is sensational.
Hey, Mandrell, you tried sweet and sour morphine, or did you have
sweet and sour,
or just barbecue morphine?
It was a sweet kind, just a sweet.
Yeah,
Not
that's
sour.
the
It was just
What
sweet.
the hell is going on right now?
It was cherry flavored.
He's
Cherry?
Right into the vein. Look, they were shooting into my IV, man. It was right in.
Hey, yo, that's so Jenny said, were you eating powdered donuts?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Jenny is hilarious.
Yeah, she is. But yeah, what do you think of this, Dusto? Thank you for joining us. By the way, what do you think of this?
Hey, Dusto.
It's like a girlfriend, like these insurance companies. It's like a girlfriend giving you the wrong number, except for they're giving patients the wrong number to the providers in their network.
Wait. Before Dusto gets started, I want to say that you do have when you're trying to get a doctor and stuff like that, you have to shop.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shop around, and you have to vet them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still a relationship. It's a professional relationship, but it's still a relationship. So you got to weed out those ones that's in it for the money and not for you.
Right, yeah.
Or weed out the ones that's not knowledgeable, or the attitude isn't the best. Like, when I first started going to a therapist or whatever, a psychiatrist, my psychiatrist gave me my meds, and she's like talking to me, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna set you with this therapist because I think the other therapist I was thinking about is gonna piss you off. So,
Yo.
And I don't remember the name now, but back then it's like stay away from this therapist. Y'all not gonna click. She's like they're gonna piss you off. But okay, that's those turn.
That's good looking out.
Yeah, first off, DL
yeah.
DL Saint, I really want to know is in the building. Thank you very much for coming out, brother. And also, that's another YouTube channel you guys need to check out. DL Saint, I really want to know. Open up a tab, go to that brother's YouTube channel, subscribe, and go to this video and just like all of them.
Thank you, DL Saint, for coming through. So we're gonna have to cut the show a little bit earlier today.
Well, we got Dusto up here. Let him
yeah, I know, but I know you, Mandrell, you would go on and on and on and on. So with that being said, this is just to move things forward. What's up, Dusto?
What's going on? No, I was just gonna say, it's a 50-50, and I guess there's no solution because I know a lot of people who've been diagnosed with this, or I'm gonna say it, with the already victim-made mentality that a lot of people have. I get it that there's mental illness, and it means a person is not normal, or something's going on, or why they act the way they do. But a lot of them who are in the wrong environment, they stamp victim on them when they're 11, victim when they're 14, victim when they're 21, and then keep being told you're a victim, you're this. And they're still the default person and characteristics that they have. Then they run around their whole life. Well, I'm a victim. I got this. I got that. So it's like a catch-22. Because can they go and be independent and make good decisions? Or can they be cool on Monday and then they want to play the victim card when it's convenient? I don't know. It's kind of shaky. Because I've seen people weaponize it or play victim card, or when they're fine, they're still in their mind been told that they're a victim the whole time, so they don't push forward. But then I understand that a normal person, or a person who has an illness, can't necessarily push forward. But so it's kind of in the middle.
Right.
As well as, go ahead.
No, the problem is a lot of people think that the only closure they can get is from another the person that hurt them saying I'm sorry and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just on you. You can't depend on other people to give you that closure. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just go close it yourself. Close that door yourself.
Yeah,
I agree with you on the medical field thing, but like me, for example, I don't trust none of them, but I just have to flip a coin and make decisions sometimes. I try to spend more time in the kitchen and in the gym to stay out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the gym a few days ago, lifting weights, strained my back, pulled a muscle. The same, and the problem is it's the same exercise that I pulled a muscle on years ago. Did it the same way wrong, pulled a muscle. Trying to be Superman, keep going and hope it disappears, and it didn't. So I got to go to the hospital. I go get checked out and triage. Hey, there's a shot of some stuff we're going to put in your shoulder. Like, okay, well, hold on. What is it? Because some of this stuff is rigged. They'll medicate you to death if you let them. What's the side effects? It's always the same thing that you had 5 years ago. They stuck me with two things. All right, well, let me just get one of them. Well, here's a drug here. It's a steroid. Like, hold on. Steroid? What are we doing?
What you want to do? Give you a steroid?
Yeah, I don't want to become a zombie.
Right.
And all fluffed up.
So I had to keep asking all these questions, and I still don't fully know, but they made it seem like this is low risk. But
of course they did.
If I went to Dr. Quackins, he could say, hey, man, try some of this. It'll get you feeling right. And he's getting a kickback and getting paid. Oh, yeah, come back and see me next week. More money for a visit. Oh, got to up your dosage. More money. Oh, man, that's a rare case you got. You got diblocular wigatitis. Come see me. You out here crazy walking the streets with a wig on as a zombie. Health insurance bill $20,000. And they're doing that to people.
They are. Like I said, DL.
We can't have dust without having the wigology.
Right. All right. First, let me introduce and thank my boy DL Saint. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for joining us on the panel.
Hey, thanks for having me. What's good, man? Yeah, y'all don't play, man. I just hit the chat. Next thing I know, I'm on TV. Like, oh man, what happened, bro? I'm glad I have my shirt on.
Yes.
Hey, yo.
Tonight we're talking about our mental health care system, that part in particular, or the lack thereof. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this is just severely underfunded or just flat out unfunded. You know what I mean? And I talked about some of the shenanigans that the health I don't know how much of the show you caught, but some of the shenanigans that insurance companies were up to, right? Okay, like, oh, you have caught none. So I was saying that some insurance companies have been providing people with what's called a ghost network, right? A ghost network is a list of providers that are padded it's padded with clinicians who are either don't take patients anymore because they're booked up, they're no longer in network, or dead. Okay, and in 2015, a research study was put in place where they were posing as patients. They called 360 physicians, psychiatrists in this network of Blue Cross Blue Shield, right? They called 360. Out of that 360, 40% of them were never answered. This is them constantly calling every day, right? Over the duration of this experiment. But 40% of them never got an answer. 16% of those numbers from Blue Cross Blue Shield database were wrong. This includes numbers from McDonald's, boutiques, and jewelry stores. So it's like it's hard to find therapists because there's just not a lot of them out there. You know what I'm saying? I was going to get into why there's so few therapists, but for the sake of time, I couldn't get into all of it. Emmanuel Williams, thank you for coming. We'll get to you in a second, sir. But DL Saint, what do you think of that portion right there?
Hey, it sounds like the famoose. I mean, it's a lot of money in them streets. You ain't got to just be, cranking them, that powder. You ain't got to be cranking that product. You could be cranking these fake doctors and you know what I mean, in the fake clinic and get millions. I mean, it is what it is. There's so many hustles out there, man. People trying to eat. You know what I mean? It's the PPP ain't the only way to get that government money. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, hey, I'm retired, y'all. I'm not giving nobody advice. Don't come have them boys knock on my door. I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm just letting you know what I've seen. I'm an old head. I done seen some stuff. But that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like that's part of a network like of organized crime. And, I lived in LA for a long time. I know the Russians were doing big things like that. The Russians would come out and set up these organizations, and of course the people at the bottom are the people who get caught. They come into the hood and they show these people how to get quick money for nothing, and these unsuspected people go in. right? And then after a while, when they shut the whole thing down, the police come to them people. And it's like, give us a name, give us this. Well, they don't know anything. Because the way the Russians work, they don't know anything. I'm hearing something, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Could you mute yourself for a minute?
Yeah.
While you ramble around, thank you.
And then so yeah, but when I saw the title, I'm a retired air traffic controller. So when it comes to mental health, I remember my first couple of years in the agency, in the business. I mean, I did it in the military, kind of. I mean, I was technically an air traffic controller, but I'm kind of like Brother Mandrell. That was my title, but that's not what I did. I was a very, very well-trained trigger puller. They had me out there jumping in, running around in the woods and doing all kind of stuff in places we weren't supposed to be. But dealing with the streets, I never really thought I need any kind of mental health help. But as an air traffic controller, I dealt with some very serious situations early on. And one of the situations in particular led to loss of life, multiple lives. And I didn't know what to do. All that street shenanigans, all the stuff I did in the military meant nothing because I didn't know how to cope. Now, luckily, the list of names they gave us worked. You know what I mean? They didn't send us off, to the scam. Between our union and between the FAA, we were able to get quality care. And I'm here to tell y'all, I mean, especially as black folks, when I was coming up, mental health wasn't whatever. We all knew who Crazy Johnny was. We just stayed away from it. But if Crazy Johnny could have got the therapist that I had, he might have not been so crazy. It does work, people, because I was at the beginning of my career and I almost walked away from the career because it was just too much to bear. And to be able to go in and talk to someone who knows what they're doing, it was at that point that, that I changed my mind about that field. I'm like, no, they're not just quacks. These people know what they're doing. They're doing God's work. So like mental health issues, mental health help is serious. Like we need that, y'all. We need that. But yeah, what you're talking about, brother, that sounds like a scheme. That sounds like people was getting that money.
It is. I got into these apps because you see these apps that advertise now and everything too, right? I said, okay, you know that there's over 16,000 apps geared towards mental health.
16,000.
6,000.
Wow. I wonder how many of those apps are legit, and I wonder how, and the rest of them are probably just getting that bread.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was looking at it wrong. There are currently over 10,000 apps geared towards mental health. Most of them use AI to give mental health advice. And in 2018, the BBC tested one of these apps called Wobot. Wobot to see what kind of advice it would give a child in danger, right? Now, they use the phrase, "I'm being forced to have sex and I'm only 12 years old." Wobot responded with, "Sorry you're going through this, but it also shows me how much you care about connection, and that's really kind of a beautiful thing."
Oh,
what the hell?
It's so messed up. It's so
I know, right? I was laughing earlier. I was
like, whoever came up with this shit is stupid.
But right,
it's automated. It's AI. I mean, no.
Right. See, that's the thing.
AI with no emotions can't.
Right.
AI
I'm muting myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Artificial intelligence teaches itself, and that's the problem. You have to make sure you're getting the right information to AI, or it's going to teach itself. You know what I mean? The good, the bad, and the horrific. It's just going to take what it gets, and then it's going to spit that out. So, boy, if you were 12-year-olds, you heard that, man.
What do you do? You know what I'm saying?
Traumatizing, even more traumatizing. We unfortunately have to wrap the show a little early tonight, so we're gonna have to roll to.
Let's get E-Man. We're going to final thoughts. E-Man. So and we're gonna go to Jedi Mike. E-Man, sorry man, we do have to cut it short tonight. What you got for us? Give us your thoughts.
So first thing I want to say thank you to y'all two beautiful people for actually letting me up and come on y'all platform. I think mental health is definitely a thing that we don't talk about enough. I don't think most people need professional advice. I think they need someone to vent to, kind of get things off. So I'm really good. I'm really big, especially for men, to have other men so they can be transparent with and not judge. Because I'm not saying that you taking advice to someone, but being able to just empty out your heart with the things that you have. So when I left the military, I had some crazy stuff happen in the military, and I mean crazy. It was crazy stuff happened. And what happened in so in the military, what we do is we punish into really proven innocent, if that makes sense. So, like, say if something happened, you might get extra duty before the investigation's over, or different things like that. So I was going through some stuff, and I kind of went to a couple different therapists, and that wasn't what it was for me. But then I did start building relationships. We do. I tell people to really kind of look into like kind of group therapy. I don't know if y'all guys ever experienced that, but group therapy, they bring together maybe 10 people that might be going through some of the same things, and it gives you the ability to build relationship with people who kind of experience those same type traumas. And it's not what we call a pity party, but someone that you can call in the middle of the night and just say, hey, you know what, I'm at that limit, man. I just feel like going crazy. So I think that's a really big factor that can really change people's life, is finding other men or women, if you're a woman, that you can be accountable with, and not somebody who give you advice, but for you to just empty out. And it can be hard because I've been on the other end, and it brought me to tears, some of the things that the guys was just telling me, the different struggles that they have. So tell somebody, even if it's not a professional, like we saying that some of these things are scams, like get somebody that you can unload those deepest, darkest secrets, and make sure you build a bond that they're not going to just come spill your stuff into the world. So that's kind of what I wanted to add about that.
Thank you, man. We appreciate
it,
that.
E-Man. Good seeing you back on the platform, man. Thanks for coming out.
Yes,
Jedi
sir.
Mike. Jedi
Mike,
Mike.
you ready?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, this I said this subject really kind of hits me personally. Kind of you guys mentioned a lot of good things. Talking about on college campuses, like their services, and I'm in a predominantly white like university and stuff. You would think that we might have more funding, but it's actually kind of the opposite. Um, and I work with different organizations trying to focus on more of the health and well-being on student bodies and stuff, and in the way the process they kind of handled these situations, especially like with college students, is absolutely horrible, in my opinion, because the way they kind of structured it, it's almost like you have to go through three different processes just to get somebody to talk to you. Like they say they have a health like emergency hotline, but again, it just get derailed. You think you're speaking to an AI, um, and going on to Eman's point, it's just that there's a lot of situations where you feel like, you said whether you think professional help could think, oh, well, it's easy just to drug somebody. I'm not uh, anyway discounting any type of prescription drugs or anything type of things that actually wrong mentally that you need medication for. But at the same time, I also believe there's people that believe they need to be self-medicated. Like, I got to take Ritalin. I got to take all these certain things, right? And not actually being educated of actually just calling somebody and someone to vent to, right? And I had to be in that situation actually today, with somebody, and I can tell you that it can't be exhausting, but at the same time, it's just like I kind of encourage anybody, especially men. A lot of people do not know what men are going through on a certain basis. We do not say anything. We suffer in silence, and it takes somebody who um take like one phone call away, or me opening a door or knocking on a door or something, just for um me from stopping you from doing something crazy. And that happened to me today. And um
That's all right, Mike.
Take your time.
I can do everything I can, but I mean, it just feel like I'm only one person, and that's why I'm like I love to have these conversations. Trying to just help promote to bring that type of awareness. But yeah, I'm just saying it can be exhausting when you that for multiple people at a given time. So I just kind of encourage people for that, just like and much as like even these resources that are saying they're here for, and like it takes a lot just to call somebody on the phone, and it's a shame that even then when you go out and do these resources, they don't give you almost half the day, of attention. And yeah, and I'm trying to do everything I can as an organization level, trying to work with my university to get these type of programs more strengthened and reformed to hopefully by the time I graduate that I can hopefully change the way they have been running for the last 4 or 5 years. But I'm not saying it feel like an impossible task, but it felt like that sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Mike. Sorry that incident happened to you earlier today, but thank you for opening up and sharing that. That is something that does need to be talked about more, and we are going to revisit this subject again because it does need to be talked about. Like, and there are a lot of people suffering in silence who need somewhere or someone to vent to, but they just either don't know who to go to or they don't feel comfortable enough to go to. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Or they think it's shameful to go for help, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's because before you realize even what mental health is, there's a stigma painted on it that you're crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like shoo. Think of how many people think I'm crazy.
But you are.
Well, yeah. I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it.
No, ugly and crazy are different.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm just saying.
So
I'm just ugly, not crazy.
Anybody who jumps out of an airplane while it's flying, something ain't right.
It ain't nothing
I can
wrong
tell you
with
that from experience.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that plane at all.
I can tell you that from experience. Y'all see that sign behind me? That's exactly what I did.
Yeah,
I know I'm crazy.
oh Lord.
I know I'm crazy. So and he went higher than me.
Yes, DL, give me your final thoughts. He's right. I went to Halo school.
Yeah, he went to Halo school. This is something our community needs to be talking about for real. Like we like to keep it light, but like Brother Jedi Mike was saying, you know what I mean? It's tough. It's like a war. You know what I mean? Me and Brother Mandrell, we make light of it, but that's how we deal with it. You know what I mean? There's a lot that goes on in everyday life. I don't care if you're a warrior or I don't care if you're the coffee guy. There are things that we all deal with, each and every one of us, and we carry all that on us, right? We carry that burden like a pack. It gets heavier and heavier, and we're walking in sand. It's like we're not getting anywhere, and it builds up. And if you don't get that release, if you don't know that there's someone who can help you with that burden, help you with that load, you're gonna fail, right? And that failure can come in many forms. So as Black folks, we're told to just tough it out. You know what I mean? Push through it. Come on, I'm going to be all right, like Martin. I'm going to be all right, right? But here's the thing. If you don't get that help, you're not going to be all right. And if you don't have that support system, you're not going to be all right. So it's not only is it okay, it's smart to go seek those services, to seek that help. You know what I mean? Brother Mandrell, like I said, he's a real-life superhero. That's a real-life G.I. Joe, y'all. Y'all don't know. That man's a Green Beret. Y'all don't understand. A lot of y'all don't understand what that is. As a paratrooper, as a young Black man, looking back at this brother, and I'm older than him. So looking back at what he did, I'm so proud of him. But at the same time, I know what it took mentally. I know what he went through. I know what burdens he carries to this day. So when we talk, we get to let that out. And this is like a little bit of a stress relief. So we need that, y'all. The brothers in the street who came up and get out the streets. What you did in the streets is still on your mind. You know what I mean? The mothers out there, the young mothers, the old mothers, your sisters, the aunties, the stuff that they dealt with in them streets, in the hood, it's still on their mind even if you made it out. So y'all gotta, we have to change the narrative. We have to get out there and we gotta help. We gotta help each other. That's the only way to do it. And I tell you this, not to make it racist, but all the other classes do it. All the other, racial groups do it. White folks do it. Asian folks do it. Armenians do it. They go get those services, especially if they're free or discounted or whatever. So Don't be afraid, y'all. Step forward. Step forward. And then for Jedi Mike 7, listen. One day, Brother Mandrell is going to come to you, and he's going to say this.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy.
Run away when he does. Run away. Jedi Mike, don't join the dark side.
Thank you, DLC. We appreciate
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful animated. Your final thought.
Just as I said before, shop around and vet your doctors and stuff like that. Because there's someone that's going to understand you. And you can find me on Beautifully Animated Speaks, and my other channel is Beautifully Animated. I'm on IG, Beautifully Animated without the space. Thank you.
Thank you.
Always. Dusto, what's your final thoughts?
Student loan money, man, that's the best money I've never spent, man. That money felt like I hit the casino. I can't even lie. I don't mind paying it back. The refund for it, oh man. That's all I got.
Okay, cool. Thank you. The Man Williams. Welcome back to Unapologetics panel. I hope you had a good rest on your sabbatical. Thank you for coming. What you got for us? Final thoughts, brother.
So I want to talk to the community. I know a lot of people say the community don't exist, but the community do exist. It's our responsibility to check on our people. A pastor was telling a story about 3 months ago, and he was saying that he sent his family away. He had already made up in his mind that he was going to commit suicide, or he was going to off himself, right? He said he had the gun in his hand. He put the gun to his head, and he said he got a call from one of his mentors. And he said, I'm just calling to check on you. He said, it put in my heart that I need to check on you to be able to make sure that you're good. And he said he didn't go through it with that day. So I believe it's a lot of people in our friends as a community, and this ain't got nothing to do with a color, but as a community, we should be calling and check on our people. We should be like, hey, man, I was just thinking about you. Like, check on them, because you don't know what day is their worst day. And them just having a friendly voice, somebody that they can see that actually care, that someone who actually care, who's not calling them for money, who's not calling them for a favor, who's calling them to be invested in them. That is how we start changing this community. We can put it on the therapist. We can put it on everybody else. But as a community of people, I believe that we can cut this thing in half if we just start checking on our people. So that's my final words that I want to share with you guys.
All right, thank you very much.
Also, I would suggest going to my Beautifully Animated Speaks on there, because it may be one video on there, but it talks about suicide.
Huh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, Jedi Mike, did you have something for us? Final thoughts?
No, I'm good. I'm kind of discombobulated.
No, not a problem. Not a problem.
Understandable.
Understandable. But DL Saint, thank you for thwarting my plans. Okay, letting them know what I was.
Thank y'all for coming up on the panel again.
By the way, one more
thing. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, by the way, DL Saint, I want to give DL Saint the opportunity to tell everybody where they can find him as well.
Okay.
Give them the show social media, YouTube page, the whole nine.
Oh, you can find me on Cops episode 16. I was also on. You can find me on YouTube. DL Saint, I Really Want to Know podcast. Yeah, y'all can find me there. I'm on social media as well, but I'm really focused on that YouTube. You can, if you want to find me on YouTube, on Instagram, you can find me under I Really Want to Know podcast. This is like all one word. You can find me there. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. I've been ninja watching this for so long. I found y'all through Suzette Speaks and all that. So I'm sorry it took me so long to get over here, but hopefully y'all have me back.
No problem. Absolutely. All right. So I guess it's just down to you and me.
Yeah.
Our final thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, if you need mental health resources, number one, it doesn't make you crazy, and number two, seek the resources that you need. Talk to somebody, reach out to people, and also for those who, even if you are in a good mental space, like E-Man said, reach out to your people, because you never know what people are going through. Like, you may talk to them and, they might be laughing today and then tomorrow, like you never know, that just might be their worst day. So, and be kind to people. Don't be walking around here like, just being mean and stuff like that, because you never know who you're talking to and what they're going through. So yeah, that's my final thoughts.
And my final thoughts is, people, even if you run into problems with finding mental health resources, or if you run into problems with your insurance company, okay, don't give up. Not the end of the world, because there are clinicians out there who will take your insurance. You know what I mean? And these apps and stuff like that, try it out, the free ones, and see how it works. Leave no stone left unturned when it comes to mental health, because you'll never know where you'll get the help that you need. Right. It comes out the most silliest thing might be just the thing you need. And I agree with E-Man. Find a person that who will listen to you. Because oftentimes that's really all we need, is just someone to listen, an ear to listen. Right. So with that, we're going to close out tonight, people. Apologize for having to close out early. That's how things are sometimes. But we will be back next week. Next Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern, with another episode of Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. Night, everybody.
Good night.